welcome to another episode of The Nonsense Review. I am your host, Devon, as always, and joining me, likewise as always, is none other than Rick.
Hello everyone, as always.
Today we have a very fun episode planned, at least in theory. But before we get into the meat of the episode, Rick, you know the drill by now, buddy. How you been?
Well, I got the lovely bonus of seeing some old friends this week. It was really nice, and now I'm not going to see him for a while again because it would be irresponsible to keep on going halfway across the country just to lick someone's forehead.
I hope you didn't really do that.
Okay. Even now that it's winding down with the lockdown and all that, it's still a bit irresponsible to frivolously see people. However, it was very nice to see them.
It also doesn't help that, almost an entire country is between you.
Yeah, fair enough. More than Wales is between us.
Someone who used to go to Wales quite regularly. It was quite a trip.
I was going to say, in fact, more than Wales is between most people. But yeah, it's also Father's Day coming up, and I found a charming little thing for my daddy, and it's a leather-bound teddy bear with sand in his arse that becomes a doorstop.
Well, let's hope he doesn't watch this episode of the podcast before Father's Day.
Oh, he's seen it. I needed his approval for it because it was a non-zero price. If someone doesn't like something and I'm going to spend a non-zero amount on it, it's going to be a real feel bad. But I also don't mind spending it if I know they're going to like it. So he's seen it. He enjoys it.
I get you, man. I didn't realise Father's Day was coming up. It's going to be a bit of a weird one for me.
Well, it is for the UK. I think the American Father's Day is tracked to the American Mother's Day, which is on a different date, and the Australians take the same date as the Americans.
Oh, fuck the American one. I ignore that anyway. It's completely... I don't know why the dates are different, but it's fucking... I'm sure you've probably experienced this once or twice in your lifetime, where you see a bunch of people going, oh, Father's Day's coming up, and you have that little mild heart attack of, oh, wait, what? I thought we did that already this year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's that sinking poop in the back of your head. Little fun anecdote. I've got a friend, mutual friend of ours, who parents moved away to Australia. He sent her a text on Mother's Day saying, Happy Mother's Day, and he got a text back saying, who is this? It wasn't Mother's Day where she was, and therefore it came out of the blue as far as she was concerned.
Even if it was out the blue, there's only one person it's likely going to be, unless it's a scammer, I suppose.
And also, you normally have your kids' phone numbers.
Normally, but if it's not... Actually, you know what? That's a very good point, actually. I was going to say, with such a distance, maybe not, but long gone are the days where international calls actually matter.
Yeah, true. It was back when Skype was in its infancy.
Dude, I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit sidetracked, because all I can remember is that one scene from The Simpsons with Homer going to the library and saying, do you have the phone book for Osaka, Japan? Yes, we do. Oh, may I borrow your telephone? Is it a local call? Yes.
Yes. I'm also thinking of the one where Bart phones Australia and it's Tobias!
The one where they kind of took the piss out of that very serious issue of the American kid who was going to get caned.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just a little kick up the bum. No, it's not. Man, how many people do you think thought Australia was completely fucked after watching that episode of The Simpsons? Because it was probably greater than zero.
Definitely greater than zero. In fact, I think they probably thought it was more fucked because of the bullfrog that got released than the actual socio-economic issues.
I mean, shit, that was real. Like the cane toad is a real fucking issue in America, Australia even.
Even bunnies. I think they released myxomatosis into the Australian wild to control the bunny population, and they've kind of become meta-stable. So you just sometimes have a rabbit with sideways legs now.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's a real shame, though, because with rabbits are easy to cull.
Yeah, they are.
They're very fucking stupid creatures, and they are small. You could probably give a teenager a BB gun, and that would do the trick. I wouldn't recommend it, because that's quite unethical, but...
They're easy to scare, and when they're scared, they tend to run in a straight line. And if they run enough in a straight line, they're normally going to run into something and give themselves a concussion, and are then even easier to kill by the thing that was chasing them.
Man, I know we're talking about a serious solution to a serious problem, but man, do we sound like fucking Rabbit Hitler.
Well, now. That's enough tangents from how my week was. How's your week been?
My week has been fairly interesting. No, that's a lie. But I've got some things I want to talk about, so therefore it's more interesting than not.
Good.
First things first, we should probably address it because this is our first episode we're officially recording in June. Happy Pride Month.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
Yes, I had an awkward... As people may know, I've been trying to get a handle of the Twitter to try and promote the podcast, as it were. I had this awkward moment where I posted on the 2nd of June, not even the 1st, because I'm a fucking idiot, of just saying, yeah, we don't really talk about Pride that much, but, you know, happy Pride all the same. And then I look at all the other creators that we're following, and they're all posting this magnificent artwork of bloody, well, Steven Universe characters, because the stuff like that, and it's like, cool, I've got nothing unique to post other than well wishes.
Man, I even said to you, our first episode was a Steven Universe episode. If we didn't support Pride, then we'd be entirely hypocritical. So it's one of those where it kind of goes without saying, but to the same degree, if it goes without saying for too long, then that's also the same problem.
It was essentially of like, I was umming and ahhing over whether I should even bother acknowledging it, and I was like, you know what, it takes 2 seconds to acknowledge, and at least then people know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm in the same viewpoint of as you for most things, of like, hey, this is just a standard decent thing to do as a decent human being, so it should go without saying, and yet if you don't say it, people might get the wrong idea, so just say it once and get it over and done with. That makes it sound like such a chore, and it's not. It's hard to put into words without sounding like a bit of a dick.
Yeah, it's not a chore on our behalf. It's the universe has made it a thing that people have to fall in a pro or anti-camp, and we are pro.
We could go off on like a 15-minute tirade of how, you know what, we don't even need to go off on a tirade. Like, I'm pretty sure we ended the last Steven Universe review we did, which would have been the follow-up to the Lapis and Peridot episodes. Like, there was definitely a tirade at the end where we were just having a pop at people who hate people for no real reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, not to retread old ground, so we'll move on. If you want to hear us bash people who bash people, just go watch that episode again. It's right at the end, so you don't even have to sync up anything. Yes, the other thing I want to talk about is a conversation we had mid-week, Rick, which I didn't want to tell you that I was going to bring it up to try and be a surprise, but something released this week on Disney Plus, namely the Cruella movie.
Yes. So the price to watch the Cruella movie is probably more than the price of a couple of cinema tickets around where you live or are local or XYZ. So me and my folks, if we're going to go see that, we're going to bite the bullet and go and do the thing and sit in the thing where people have been farting and see it in an actual cinema, because our cinemas are all cheap because it's the North.
And also, you and your folks have all been completely vaccinated at this point.
Yeah, we've all had our pricks.
I've actually been told a spoiler of the Cruella movie, and I kind of called it, so if you don't want to be spoiled on even the most minute of details, even though it's pretty fucking obvious what's going to happen from the bloody get-go, skip forward about a minute. Alright, has everyone skipped forward? Good. Essentially, I was like, okay, Cruella's going to be the protagonist, so they're going to try and make her some form of sympathetic villain, aren't they? Apparently the entire film makes her seem justified in hating Dalmatians so much that they attempt to try and justify her kidnapping a bunch of puppies so she can kill them and harvest their fur. And apparently, her backstory is she watched her parents be mauled to death by Dalmatians. Allegedly. I haven't seen the film, and it might be people spouting hyperbole to try and make it sound funnier than it actually is. I don't know.
It might not even be true.
It might not even be true. I wish it's true, because that's some dumb shit.
However, I mean, I remember reading a Reddit post or whatever from someone whose first real memory was being mauled by dogs and thinking to himself in his 4-year-old brain, wonder what happened when All Red come out. Getting mauled by a pack of roving dogs who think they're the alphas. Well, because they definitely are if they're out doing the maulings, it's a non-zero concern for people. Like, there are people who are afraid of dogs, and it's for a good reason. They're wolves.
I mean, I understand this, but at the same time, what you're describing is feral dogs. Do you understand how fucking unlikely it is a Dalmatian, of all things, is gonna go feral? Those things are worth so much money.
They're basically spotty golden retrievers.
I mean, they are. They're Labradors. They're just Labradors that are spotty.
Yeah. Labradors have got the softest mouths. Well, sorry, retrievers specifically, but yeah.
My buddy's parents have like 4 Labradors. 3 of them are golden, 1 of them is black. The black one is evil. Okay, sorry, that sound really bad out of context, but you know, every time I stepped foot into his parents' house, the black Labrador would just growl at me and show its teeth, and I was like, buddy, I think that dog fucking hates me. And I like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love dogs. I've got enough of them. I've had enough of them. And my buddy just went, oh, he does that to everyone he doesn't know. Don't worry about it. And I went, I feel like I should worry about it. Anyway, I spent the night at his house, and I shit you not, that dog, as soon as you've entered his house for more than a couple minutes, he will constantly growl at you and snarl at you. But if you go near him, he's just like, oh, hello.
Well, it's like the gag of two dogs barking at each other across a fence, and then someone removes the fence and they just become friends.
I mean, it's not even a gag. I've seen videos.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. And they've almost always got the caption of two people arguing on the internet versus when they meet in real life.
And half the time, the fence is only the size that it is, and the sides of the fence are open.
Yeah, dogs ain't smart, man. But yes, I kind of wanted to talk about something else we discussed during midweek when it came to Cruella, and that is you revealed to me that it was 101 Dalmatians was based on a book, and I didn't believe you, so I googled it.
This was a rabbit hole we went down, and the first book was all well and good, but the real gold mine was the second book. Oh my god, it sounded like a fever dream.
Do you remember what it was called, Rick?
Was it something like Midnight Runnings?
Oh, you're very close. It's called The Starlight Barking.
Okay. Yeah, I think Midnight Runnings was a human version of the same thing, so...
So, what should we talk about first, Rick? Should we talk about the powerful, telepathic, but intensely lonely Lord of the Dog Star? Or should we talk about, I don't know, Cadpig and how she became Prime Minister?
I think Lord of the Dog Star sounds like an anime lampoon of Fist of the North Star. However, it came out in like the 60s, didn't it?
1967 was its publication date.
Yeah, so this book is old. And I'm pretty sure when we looked at it, we found out that's how Cruella got the half black, half white hair.
That's correct. She is involved in the book for about one paragraph where she's reformed. I'll read up here. It says, Cruella de Vil, the villainess of the first novel. She left England to get away from debt, but she and her husband return and start a company manufacturing metallic plastics. She has dyed her hair half black, half white, as it changed colour due to stress and shock after the first novel. She still is obsessed with Heat and Pepper, but no longer has her obsession for furs. I assume Heat and Pepper are the names of two Dalmatians, I don't know.
No, it's literally, she likes it when it's hot, so she will stand in the middle of a fire if she can, and everything that she makes that's food is made entirely of pepper. The protagonist humans go to their house, and every single thing tastes of pepper, and when they invite them to their house, they season things normally and put the pepper shaker on the table, and the husband, who is book only, goes absolutely ham on this normal tasting food, and Cruella goes absolutely ham on the pepper grinder. They notice that the husband eats considerably more food when away from home where everything tastes of pepper.
I'm sorry, I'm getting some fucking distracted, because again, the idea of the dog having a fucking cabinet.
Yeah, so all the dogs receive the ability to communicate telepathically.
Yeah, all thanks to the Lord of the Dog Star.
Yeah, thanks to the Lord of the Dog Star. And they can, I can't remember the actual word, but they can noom around the universe.
Well, it's even better than that, because don't forget, the Lord of the Dog Star, I'm never going to not say it, because it's so fucking funny to me, has frozen the entirety of the Earth so he could talk to all the dogs and offer them an escape from possible nuclear destruction.
Not even imminent nuclear destruction, just possible nuclear destruction.
Oh, don't forget, Sirius appeared everywhere. Well, I'm going to read the final paragraph, fuck it. Roly-Poly returns from his adventure in Paris with George. He reveals Sirius appeared there as well, and Mrs. surmises he appeared everywhere at once, as a star is not bound by earthly time. All lone dogs return home, while the lost dogs take the opportunity to get into Battersea Dogs Home, where they will be fed and cared for while awaiting new owners. Pongo talks to Sirius one last time before the dawn and says someday dogs may be ready to leave Earth with him, but for now they will be content to be owned by loving humans, which for him is bliss enough. So yeah, instead of fucking off to space with the space dog, they're like, nah, we like being owned by humans. They pretty much serve us anyway, so who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah. the way that people will serve cats. Yeah.
I'm half tempted to read out the whole plot, but we've only got so many hours in a day. For anyone curious, I honestly fucking 100% recommend go onto Wikipedia, look up the Starlight Barking, and read the fucking plot summary, because it's fucking... Rick got it in one. It sounds like a fucking fever dream. Oh shit, there's an Audible audiobook available from Audible, of all places. We're not sponsored. So if you want to listen to it, it's only 140 something pages.
I remember reading the original book when I was like sub 18, let's put it that way. And I didn't know there was a sequel until very recently.
Do you know what the weird thing is though? And Wikipedia makes a note of it. There's been sequels to the 101 Dalmatians movies by Disney, but none of them take that plot. I can only wonder as to why.
Yeah. So, yeah, every single sequel just goes a different direction. So there's been a sequel to the animated one, there's been a sequel to the live-action one.
Now there's a prequel to the live-action one, technically, I suppose.
It might not be in the same universe, but yes.
Dude, I really thought that Cruella de Vil actress was Margaret Robbie. No, it's Emma Stone.
Wasn't Emma Stone Gwen Stacy?
Maybe. I didn't watch that series of Spider-Man films.
They were alright. I liked Andrew Garfield. They weren't great, but they were alright.
Let's see here. Oh, she's Wichita in Zombieland.
Okay, I ain't seen that.
Oh, okay, well, she's the main person in... Yeah, she was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man, 2014, those films are old.
I remember Spider-Man having a slide phone, and like these days that looks a little bit out of place. But back in the day, it was great because my mum has that phone. My mum's got the same phone as Spider-Man. My mum's cool.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss flip phones.
Yeah.
They were good.
One of the ones I'm looking at is a flip phone of tomorrow. Basically a DS that's a phone.
But yes, moving swiftly on. Last week you brought up Disgaea 6.
I did.
I've beaten the demo.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not, you're right. But that's Disgaea. It gave me a hankering to play more Disgaea after I beat it, and unfortunately it's capped at the end of Chapter 2. So I played Disgaea 2 on Steam because I've got that game. I just want to point out, at the end of Chapter 2 in Disgaea 2, you're barely level 10, if that. At the end of Chapter 2 in Disgaea 6, what level are you, Rick?
Oh, I'm post 1000 on my file, and I've unlocked all the generic classes.
Okay, well, I've not done that. I've literally just beaten the story, and my characters are 160.
I've abused the infinitely respawning man.
Dude, yeah. Okay, it's one of those things where I like Disgaea's sense of humour in that sense.
Yeah, they give you an infinitely respawning man, and they even show the main character using this infinitely respawning man to grind out experience, subtly explaining that, yeah, if you want to get your characters up early on, just put it on auto battle and go in this.
Yeah, it's pretty top. I also like the characters for the game so far. Like, Zed's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but the king character is funny, at least.
Yeah, Missador, yeah.
I thought it was something like that. My brain was saying Midas, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. That's a real historical dude. Well, not historical, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, parable fella. But yeah, he's I like Missador's purpose in the world of being a comic relief foil, and it looks like he's actually going to get some character development as things go along, because he wants to actually now become a hero after all this time being the hero's sugar daddy. Like his entire shtick is money makes the world go round. I like money. Have some of my money. If I throw enough money at things, problems will go away. Alas, his stats are shit, but they get better with money. So.
Dude, I like the name of his first special attack unique to him. Was it the bourgeois knuckle or something? Oh, dude, it's so fucking dumb. I love it. I will give Disgaea 6 one knock. And that is, they have not optimized that game well.
They haven't. They've also removed a lot of skills. So some old skills like knuckle skills are now unique to the martial artist. So you can't just have big bang on everyone that has a fist. I'm
not too hurt about that. I meant at a actual performance rate. Like, by default, the game is set to prioritize graphics, which it looks nice, but how the fuck do you have frame rate drops on a fucking turn-based strategy game?
On a Nintendo Switch, which is meant to be a current console, even though we know that it's not. Like, even when it was released, it was last year's Nvidia Shield, essentially.
Yeah, but it's Nintendo. I don't give a fuck how powerful it is as long as it runs the shit that it's meant to run. You know, this game, again, it starts on graphics, which, like, they're not even that great. I preferred the 2D style, I'm not gonna lie.
I also preferred it. So, it's grown on, the 3D versions that they've done has grown on me in between the very first reveal and now, because I think they've refined it a bit. But the very first reveal that they did, I just hated the way that they tried to translate it into 3D. Like, the way that they've now refined it, it looks good moment to moment. Like, any screenshot is going to look fine.
Yeah, but you know what looks better than the 3D? Like, they have it in the game. When you have events between Zed and another character, they have 2D portraits talking to each other, and that looks better. The portraits don't move, they're just stills. I don't give a fuck. It does the fucking job.
They're lovingly created, lovingly curated, and just, there's more passion in them.
Also, I can't, like, I don't know about you with your Switch, but my Switch doesn't like having graphics prioritized. I had to pull it down to balance, and so which means the 3D models on the map look a bit shitter.
Fair.
Well, like, I was moving the cursor around to select units, as you do, and there was lag on the fucking, between me pressing the button and the cursor moving. That shouldn't be fucking happening. I'm not a snob when it comes to this sort of thing, but it's a fucking turn-based strategy game. There shouldn't be fucking lag. Jesus. Sorry, I love Disgaea. I like Nippon Ichi Software. I'm going to buy this game and I'm going to play it, but to blindly say, oh, it's great, perfect, and there's nothing wrong with it, you're up your own arse if you think that.
Similar to you, I also have been playing another Disgaea game. I've been playing Disgaea D2, A Brighter Darkness. It's the sequel to Disgaea 1 that's not Disgaea 2. So it's the one where Lahal, Etna, and Flonne have more adventures, and they add a fourth to their group. That's Cicely, and it's Lahal's little sister, and she came from Celestia. And Chapter 2 is basically a retread of Disgaea 1's Chapter 2, where an angel comes and they go through the snow and they fight a dragon at the end. Like, she even uses the same incantation that Flonne uses to summon the dragon to help.
It's one of those things where Disgaea's unique sense of humour and ability to make fun of itself as well as other games in the genre, it's just a breath of fresh air whenever it comes up.
Dude, even other genres, like even Disgaea 1 had Buck Rogers and Power Rangers.
But here's the problem, right, is I never beat Disgaea 1 because Disgaea 1's leveling system was bullshit.
Fair enough.
The original, I don't know if they fixed it in the remake, but in the original, you had to kill things with that character to level them up, which meant your healer never got XP and Lahal was never 1 million.
If you had any brains, then Lahal would also have a heal spell if you had him make a healer and you stole it from them.
I don't even think I got that far. I think I got to the chapter where Lahal challenged every overlord ever. They all turned up and were level 1000, and I was like, this looks impossible, and then all of Lahal's dad's retainers come in and save you.
Yeah, that was cute.
It was a cool moment, and then they all piss off and they're like, no, we actually don't care about you that much, but you will die if we don't help you now in this specific instant.
Yeah.
One final thing I want to talk about before moving on to the review. I do realise this is probably getting a bit long in the tooth, but that's what happens when you talk about things you're interested in. Have you seen the new Samsung woman mascot thing?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, Samsung brought out a new model design type thing. It looks like it was made in Source Filmmaker. Suffice to say, the only reason I'm bringing it up is, man, Rule 34 artists work fast.
Well, when you say it looks like it was made in Filmmaker, they probably recreated her in Filmmaker very easily.
Oh, but dude, like, there's people who have physically drawn, not physically drawn her, but you know what I mean, drawn her in a 2D art style and everything, and man, she takes dick real good. I don't really give a fuck. The only reason I know Samsung has a fucking mascot that is a relatively attractive woman, again, not a real human, a drawn, made-up, artificial one, is because I'm subscribed. I use Reddit for specific things, memes and porn, and most of the less than savoury drawing subreddits have had multiple cases of this woman just appearing, and I'm just like, who the fuck is this? Oh, it's literally a fucking mascot for Samsung. What the fuck, internet?
Reminds me of that, I think it was Erin Esurance, an insurance salesman girl who was a secret agent.
Okay.
And she had a lot of ads, and these ads had lore in between them because they had like an ongoing narrative, but also there were ads. But it was basically like a Kim Possible fan character who became an ad.
I know, fair dues, man. My favourite type of advert is where a company goes to like either an independent filmmaker or just a filmmaker in general and goes, here is a budget, make a short film that's less than 3 minutes long and let us put our logo at the end of it.
I remember that for Mini. You had a lot of really short films, and at the end it went, it's a mini adventure.
That's pretty cool. I don't personally recall those. My brain goes to the Sainsbury's advert from a couple of Christmases ago, which was just, it must have been 2018, because that was when the anniversary for the end of the First World War was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it was like 2.5 minutes long, or at least the one that played on TV, of a mini movie of the Christmas truce. And at the end, it just said Sainsbury's. It's very simple, but like, yeah, that's a good advert. It's not going to make me, shop at Sainsbury's, but, I like that type of advert. It's good. Makes my lizard brain happy.
Then again, Christmas adverts are in a completely different category. Like, they're all there to be, what's the weirdest Christmas advert we can make, and how much can we squeeze out of people's acceptance of the fact that Christmas adverts are going to be weird.
It's also one of those things where, like, you're probably in the same boat as me, Rick. I don't watch TV anymore, really.
No.
So adverts don't really mean jack shit unless they appear on YouTube.
My dad put a TV on the wall in the kitchen, and he can't exist without having it on when food is there. So that's how TV happens to me, and it's normally Drew Pritchard.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a rich guy trying to get richer by buying people's shit around the country and then reselling it as a antiques dealer.
Oh, I think I know this guy, actually. I think my dad used to like the same program. Like Fixer Uppers or some shit.
Yeah, some shit like that. But, like, every episode's the same. He goes to a place, haggles, because you've got to haggle. It annoys me how much they haggle all the time. They're always trying to get pennies out of people who have less than them.
Well, you know what happens in that case is he's just like, well, you see, the capitalist way is like, you know, you've always got to try and get more money, money. And then you realise money's worthless because you can't eat it.
Well, I mean, you can try.
You can try, it won't fucking work. I'm telling you now, there will come a time, maybe even in our lifetimes, where the most useful thing you can do with money is to burn it to keep yourself warm.
I subside entirely upon 2p coins.
That sounds like you were doing a Bill Bailey impression.
It wasn't meant to be, but yeah, I get it.
That's the type of voice he does when he's making some stupid point, and he knows the point's stupid, so he makes his voice just a little bit sillier because it makes the joke funnier.
The Bill Bailey voice of stupid phrases. Yeah.
Anyway, Rick, what the fuck are we doing today?
We are doing part 2 in our ongoing mini-serial, and we are reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's only called Sonic the Hedgehog, and the fans call it Sonic Satan, because in America it aired on Saturday mornings, as opposed to the other one that we did last time, which was daily for a long-ass time. This one is a much shorter series. The other one was more like, there's millions of Tom and Jerry's, there's like millions of those. But this one is very definitely, there are 2 seasons. They have plot and, well, we'll get to see. We're going to watch an episode called Sonic Boom. If you buy a DVD or get it on Amazon Prime, then this is what will show up as episode 1. There was another one that came before it, but that's not our problem.
Yeah, like, essentially what we're learning very quickly when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons is discovering which episode is officially the first one is a fucking nightmare in and of itself.
Man, I don't think it's even Sonic. I think it's like all cartoons back then. Like, I think networks cared more about getting someone, like, reeling people in from day zero rather than showing the story as it was intended.
Well, you see, that's what killed Firefly. But that's a yeah, great fucking podcasting, me. That's a subject for another day, is what I was trying to say.
Another time, another life.
Ah, bitch. Alrighty then, do you want to do a countdown for us, Rick?
Yeah, for anyone wanting to join in with us, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Oh, this theme is a lot better than the last one. Oh, shit, I accidentally muted it.
Blue streak speeds by. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, there we go. You get a shot of Uncle Chuck and the new Dr. Robotnik, who's a lot more threatening than the previous Dr. Robotnik.
This Dr. Robotnik looks scary.
He's voiced by Jim Cummings.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he's voiced by Winnie the Pooh.
Why? It bugs me that Sally's not wearing pants.
I don't know why she's not wearing pants. So in season 2, she gets a jacket, and she still doesn't wear pants.
It's one of those weird things where someone on a YouTube channel, like, she's wearing boots for fuck's sake.
Yeah, she's wearing boots because, well, Sonic's got shoes. So having Sally not have shoes, because even though she's a princess, would be really weird. So they had to give her shoes. I don't know why she doesn't have gloves.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's again, I was watching a YouTube video ages ago. Some people were playing Sonic, and it's one of those weird things where if you give a character no clothes except for one item of clothes, they look more naked that way.
Yeah.
It's the most glaring example is Big the Cat, where he wears a belt and fuck all else.
Yep.
It's bizarre, man, bizarre.
Ah, the good old evil eyes. Yeah, so these little eyeball cameras show up all around this series, and they pretty much never do anything other than just show that the characters are being watched.
So they're like
it's just there to reinforce. It's just there to reinforce dystopia.
So they're like worse fucking like not probe droids, but that scout droid you see in Phantom Menace.
Yeah. They don't even have guns or anything.
Bit of a fuck up on Robotnik's part, really. I'm eager to hear his voice. I wonder if it sounds like Robotnik or if it sounds like Cummings.
It sounds like it very does sound like a sinister Winnie the Pooh, actually.
Who the fuck are these pricks?
Okay, one of them is called Antoine, the other one's called Cat.
The one that doesn't have clothes looks like he's like on death's door.
Yeah, he does.
That was a
Little
really...
bitch.
That was actually a fucked up trick to play.
I know, right?
Sonic don't sound right.
I mean, it's the same voice actor.
It sounds different, man.
Different voice direction. Like they're actually directing it to have a plot, so they're rather than just being a gag show.
Yeah.
Even though it was released very close, like just having a different director makes all the difference.
I don't like how naked Sally looks.
She looks even more naked without the backpack, which she had in the opening.
She sounds much more adult than I expected her to sound as well.
Yeah, she's very definitely the smart one of this show. Well, actually, she's not the smart one. She's just a smart one.
I was gonna say Tails exists, doesn't he?
Tails exists, but he's not smart in this.
Oh.
He's very definitely a kid in this show. Yeah, Nicole is Sally's robot iPad before iPads.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, patience of hospitals.
I hate it.
Yeah, he's always making little fun little quips like that.
Yeah, fun. Fun. Yeah, that's a word. So Nicole is basically Siri.
Yeah, pretty much. In the comics, she even gets a humanish, but not humanish, a furry body, where she's like a bobcat or something.
Yeah, we gotta corrupt the children now, so they'll buy our furry porn when they're older.
Podbot has realised another Podbot is just staring at a wall. But yeah, Antoine's single character trait is that he's a coward. And he's French.
Yeah, not fucking going for the most sophisticated gags, are they?
No.
So, now, here comes the fucking history nerds who have to point out that, hey, did you know that actually France has got quite a successful military history?
Yeah, it's just that recently they've done a lot of surrendering.
Dude, they got fucked in 2 world wars, and, like, when you look at the historical... if you look at the reasons for how they got fucked so hard, it's like... It doesn't matter who was in charge at the time, there was no winning that fucking fight.
Yeah, it was one of them. They were a very definite and tangible threat to anybody trying to make an empire at that time. If they didn't start with France, they'd have to deal with France eventually.
Well, it's also I've forgotten the name of it specifically, but it's like the something line, which France had...
the Maginot Line, yeah.
France had complete fucking belief that nothing could penetrate that, and then Rommel just fucking burst through it with tanks.
The cartoon review show in which we talk about the Maginot Line.
It's fucking Sonic, man. Like, it's either talk about stuff that's interesting or talk about furry porn. Man, their heads are not fucking to scale to their body.
Oh, like, I would hate to be an impending mother in this series.
Ha! He's better at stealth than you.
They've now realised that they've been separated from Cat, and oh yeah, she's got super daddy issues. Her dad is voiced by Tim Curry.
Oh, that I've got to hear.
It's actually a lot less interesting than you might think, because I had to be told later.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? is even if Tim Curry is in the most dog shit trash thing ever, he gives it 120%.
Yeah, he's an absolute chameleon.
Dude, like, in Clone Wars, he plays Palpatine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he doesn't sound like fucking Tim Curry. Because he tries.
That's kind of cool.
It is.
Oh, there we are. Our first Dr. Robotnik time. He's got his own theme tune that's a lot more...
Oh my god, it does sound like evil Winnie the Pooh. It sounds like they just banged a filter over his voice. Now bring me some honey.
I don't know why both versions of the cartoon gave Dr. Robotnik a fucking cone for a head.
It's easy to draw. Consistently.
You know what's even easier? A fucking circle. Which is what he has in the original game.
Eh.
I guess they're trying to evoke the egg idea.
Maybe so. I'll let you go for some honey. I can't do Winnie the Pooh, but you get it. This does feel like Star Wars with Leia and the probe droid.
Pretty much.
Except not quite as sexy.
I like it. I like his statement of, I have machines. Marvelous machines that can do things you would not believe.
Unfortunately, we now have to cut away because we can't show that on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. The peril is the threat of impending peril is sometimes more effective than showing the peril itself.
Yeah, for a kid, for definite.
Yeah, because sometimes the mind is more dangerous and more scary than the actual, well, any actuality.
Indeed.
That's why anxiety is a thing.
Yep. Anxiety is like, oh, there is a threat. What is the threat? I don't know. But you must be ready to fight this threat. Man, people who have actual bad anxiety must be tired and exhausted just 24/7.
Absolutely.
It's one of those weird things where I went to a doctor once with my... It felt like my heart was going faster than it should, and I know that sounds fucking stupid, but that's what it felt like. So I went to the doctor and went, am I having a fucking heart attack? Because if I am, I need to know. I went, nah, it's just anxiety. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's when you find out about panic attacks. Yeah.
Why have I got anxiety? There's nothing to be anxious about. And they were just like, oh, fucking... They didn't say it like that, but it's like, you could just have it for no fucking reason. And that sucks.
Yeah, they didn't say it like that, but they meant it. Sorry, I just like the visual gags of Antoine being a little bitch.
He's alive and he's Darth Vader.
Yeah, we know he's somewhere else as well. All of these breadcrumbs in season 1 are just breadcrumbs, because he's nowhere near anywhere that she thinks that he is.
Is that straight up a fucking gulag?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
So here's the thing, like, there used to be in the universe, there used to be a kingdom, which is why she's a princess. And when Robotnik took over, he took it over as a coup d'etat. And then turned everything to shit, because that's what he did.
It's very rare that someone, like, even historically speaking, someone performs a coup and then they're better than the person they were before. Usually if someone fucking performs a coup, usually they're not a good person.
I think the Simpsons did it pretty much on the head. Mr. Burns' reign of terror is over. My reign of terror is about to begin.
Now we should do some
Man,
Simpsons
I like
someday.
the. Yeah, we should. I think I brought it up off camera that I have a very fun idea, or what I hope is a very fun idea, for the most classic possible of Simpsons.
Oh, you did, yeah. We'll talk about that again after podcast. Otherwise, we might be spoiling things / getting people's hopes up for no reason.
So this, man, that looks like fucking Lost Bastille.
A little bit. I like that, covering their ass for whatever time you're watching this.
Yeah. It old.
Subtle tricks that well, not just kid cartoons, but any TV media show ever usually does is they don't mention specific years. They'll be like, oh, this happened 50 years ago. And therefore, whenever you watch it, it's still relevant. They don't have to fucking constantly adjust.
However, in season 2, they do reveal that it's after the year 2200.
Well,
Because the coup happened in the year 2234.
why do you know that offhand, Rick?
Because they say it about 15 times in a row.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even kidding. They have to keep repeating the same time when they're trying to go back in time to do the thing. And, yeah, they have to go to the time and a place, and it was Palace Fountain, 2234. And that was like 5 years or so ago.
I'll be honest with you, Rick. This scenario comes up in cartoons a lot with the whole, oh, that bridge looks rickety, we should, but we need to cross it. And my brain always goes, I genuinely do not know what I would do in this scenario, because you've got two choices to cross. You walk slow and hope, or you run across and you probably got less chance of making it, but that's... Your brain's like, if you run, it's better.
It's one of those, if you run, you put more stress on the bridge and you make it more likely to fail.
But fear.
Yeah. Totally. It really annoys me how, when they show it, it's always, how is this bridge not broken already? I mean, the real reason is people have not fucking been here in a long-ass time.
Well, one of the things as well that I got from cartoons as a child is I thought quicksand would be more of a problem in my life than it actually has been.
Because it's shallower than it appears in the movies.
Well, also, I live in the fucking UK. I'm never going to encounter quicksand.
Dude, you know how rare it is to encounter normal sand? Yeah. Like, if you don't live in Torbay, like...
Dude, everyone's like, oh, but you live on an island. Yeah, and 9/10 of our beaches are filled with fucking rocks.
Yeah.
It's not all sand.
Yeah. Like, I know in certain Spanish beaches they have imported Sahara sand just to, create a beach for which, like, British people can come and spend their shitty money at shitty British pubs.
It's fucking dumb, man.
It's the weirdest thing. Like, you open up a British bar, an Irish bar, whatever, just to give racist people a clue. Sorry, I just got distracted by the actual plot.
Yeah, but you said all this is bollocks anyway.
Oh, it's totally bollocks. Like, yeah, I wonder what piece of the scenery is going to move.
Yeah.
Is it the one that's suspiciously lightly coloured?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so in the show, he's got the hots for the princess.
Everyone's got the hots for the princess by the looks of things.
Yeah, because she's the princess. Yeah, but in the comics, he ends up getting married to Bunny.
What, the mechanical rabbit?
Yeah. Who I think she doesn't even show up in this episode, apart from in the opening credits.
Man, that is a character who I only know of because of creepy fucking furry porn.
Plus, of all of the original characters in this show, she's the curviest. Because this predates Rouge the Bat.
Mm-hmm. Rouge the Bat, 100% designed to be furry bait.
Yeah. It's like someone's fan character and they just multiplied it by Jessica Rabbit. And I think I mentioned it before. She's got the same physics on her tits as the Chow. And she just walks around just jiggling like a blobby little blue monster.
You know what? Like, if you want to save time in the development side of things, sure, why wouldn't you?
I think they're the same size as Chow bellies as well.
Didn't need to know that one specifically, but go on, fair enough. I'm dead fucking curious. I'm half tempted to like rip those off and just not rip them off, but like take a screenshot of that and try and draw it as an actual map and see if it makes any goddamn sense.
Probably fucking doesn't.
Oh, of course it fucking don't, but I'm curious to see how much bollocks it is, because these shows are weird, because sometimes you got one fucking person on the team who gives a shit.
Yeah, I feel you. A moment ago, Antoine looked really stoned.
What a fucking convoluted way to get them to not do the thing that they were just about to do. Sonic said, "Booby."
Yeah, he did. Why wouldn't you wipe the shit off your actual face?
He's a hedgehog. Do you know what hedgehogs do in real life?
They shit in lines as they just keep on shitting while walking.
They roll around in their own shit.
There.
For reasons scientists have yet to discover.
Dogs also do that, but they roll around in other people's shit, because they really love fox shit. They adore it.
They do. My Chihuahua had a problem for a long time where she used to like eating her own shit. And it was quite disgusting, except one day a fox took a shit in our garden and she ate that, and it's like, okay, listen, dog. You gotta stop. You've gotta stop. Don't know how the problem got fixed, but one day she just grew out of it. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Because you can't punish them in the way that people used to punish them, which is like give them a smack. No, you can't do that.
Yeah, because she's already eaten it. Oh yeah, rings are not a thing in the other show, but they are in this. In this, they're a temporary power-up thing. Oh,
it's a robot. That makes it okay to just viciously kill.
Yeah.
Sonic can run at the speed of sound.
Yeah, but like, if you do that at a wall, you're gonna get a concussion immediately.
Yeah, but it's Sonic. Sonic can do that. He could just sprint down one of the hallways and go, "This wasn't the way." Run back and then go, "It must be this way then."
Yeah, he's also a bit forgetful and has a short attention span.
Okay, but Sally's meant to be smart.
Yeah, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like in the very last episode, Sally also gets super speed because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she goes, so this is what power rings feel like. Wow.
Sounds. You make it sound like she had an orgasm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, this episode is having a real hard time keeping my attention because all I can think of is how long is left. Oh, 2 minutes, that's not too bad, thank fuck.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time. There's basically one more plot point left, and that's that the one that they abandoned stays abandoned.
Did they rescue the cat? What's going on with the cat?
Yeah, this is literally what he's going to go do now, is he goes to go rescue Cat.
Dude, wouldn't it be fucked up, but also completely justified if Sonic put it off for so long that the cat had just been fucking strung up?
Yeah. But that's not Robotnik's MO. His MO is to turn people into robots.
Oh, so is he already a robot then?
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, the whole reason Bunny is half robot is because she got, like, a little bit zapped by it rather than completely zapped. Yeah, they've got their own pet hacked bot.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because they hacked him earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay, but it doesn't really solve anything, does it, if Cat's already a robot?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all just end credits, and I don't think there's an extra credit scene at the end, so I'm just going to tap out. Although you do get a giant dick logo at the end.
You do get a giant dick logo at the end.
Who doesn't like a bit of dick?
I remember seeing the logo where it went, dick! And then years later seeing the meme of just someone just going, dick!
Well, don't forget, Kex's official name is Sex, even though it begins with a C.
Yeah, and it's meant to be the computer exchange.
Yeah, I always called it Kex, and then one day I rung them up to see if they had a video game, and they said, "Hi, welcome to Sex," and I'm like, "What?"
I mean, I've always called it CEX, so...
I've said Kex because it's one syllable.
Well, up north, Kex are underpants, so...
Well, depending on how you say it as well, people could mean you're being an actual weeb and you're going, Kek, ha.
Well, that's also a Warcraft thing as far as I'm aware. Like, if you say lol as one faction, it gets filtered to Kek when you're on the other faction.
Okay, that's...
Because they just have a letter replacement algorithm.
I assumed Kek was a weeaboo thing because Matt says it all the time.
Well, yeah. There's also a cake called Top Kek.
What creepy fucking Sonic shit should we end the episode with? Want to talk about Sonichu?
We could talk about Sonichu. We talked about Sonichu last time. I think we talked about Mistakes into Miracles last time as well.
We didn't talk about Sonichu. We talked about Cold Steel.
So Sonichu is fun if you want to jump down a rabbit hole.
I have seen a piece of fan art taking a piss out of Sonichu, which is, you know what? I'm not going to bring that up. You told me a story about Sonichu where apparently they went into a GameStop and replaced all the covers for Sonic Boom or some shit.
Yeah, so apparently this was back when it was still a guy. He went in and was really annoyed that Sonic's arms were blue in Sonic Boom and printed out inserts that were the same size as the front cover of Sonic Boom, where Sonic's arms were now tummy-coloured.
Here's the thing, right, is that story is quite cute and sort of innocent, except at the same time it's an obvious sign of mental illness and
also he got so abusive with the staff that he ended up having to get pepper sprayed.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like, unless he was physically violent, I don't think that's a suitable response.
I think they ended up suing the store. I don't know what came of that, but
again, unless they got physically violent with the staff, I feel like pepper spray probably a step too far because that shit burns. That shit is all right. Granted, bear mace is a bit different, but bear mace is used on bears. Pepper spray is used on humans and can make you go blind.
Yeah, and mace is mace. It is just a spice that you can use.
I'm just remembering you sharing that Cali link.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up when Callie pepper sprayed herself by spraying it in the sink and then realising, oh, if I do this, it's in the room.
Well, she had to stay with Grandma Callie or something because the whole house smelled of pepper for like 2 days.
Yeah, they had to stay with Granny Reaper because their eyes were streaming, and even when they came back after a couple of days, the entire house just smelled of, like, roasted peppers.
Do you know why I fucking love that story? Because it starts with Callie having the common sense to not just spray it straight in her fucking eyes.
Yeah!
And it still goes wrong.
I know, right?
I'm glad we managed to bring up VTubers, actually, because I've got a question for you. Because what with Kiara being given the green light to co-op with, what is it, VShojo?
Yeah, VShojo, and also Coco, because apparently Coco is the hardest one to get green-lighted for within HoloLive.
Well, I was going to ask, in the eventuality that for some reason our podcast gets really big, that we can have big-name guest stars and not just our mutual buddy. All right. I'm going to count down from 3, and I'll beat after 1. I want you to say at the exact same time which VTuber, any VTuber you want, you would most like on the podcast, based solely on who you think would be the most entertaining to talk to, not based on who's your favourite, because we've had that discussion. So, are you ready?
Apparently, no, I'm not ready, because I'm having to give it a big-ass thing.
That's really weird, because I thought you'd have an answer instantly, because I know who I want, which is why I want to say it at the same time, because I want to see if we land on the same answer. Alrighty, so beat after 1, we'll both say our choice on who we think would be the most entertaining to have on our show. Alrighty. 3, 2, 1. Coco.
Callie.
Okay.
Both are valid. So Callie has done thingy interviews before. She's pretty much the face of HoloLive outside of HoloLive in the West.
I get you.
Although Guro was the first to 1 million, the first to 2 million, and she's probably the people that know from saying, the the fact is that Callie was the one that did the interview with like Giguk and the other ones who were on that Trash Taste, I think it was. Callie was really entertaining when she got going. Basically, she's always got that like a line of defense when she's streaming that she knows everyone listening is probably a fan. Whereas when she's collabing, she's always got some amount of nerves. But as soon as she's over it, she's just back to normal and 100% fun.
I get you, man. I get you.
There's some really cute things. Like from that one show, I remember when she was talking about a PC tower and she forgot the name for the actual PC tower, so she calls it the rectangle. Powerful rectangle.
I mean, it's a pretty good fucking description.
Yeah, like you know what she's talking about when you look at your own and go, oh yes, it is a rectangle.
Yes, when I look at my own PC tower.
I mean, yeah, dude, your laptop is also a rectangle. It's two rectangles.
I'll let you have it. But yeah, I think I really thought you were going to say Coco, because Coco is self-explanatory.
Yeah, she's very fun. I think Coco is one of the most fun out of all of Holo JP, and she's very she's a lot more hardworking than any moment-to-moment clip would suggest.
Well, it's weird because she doesn't get clipped a lot, because every clip of hers it's like 20 minutes fucking long.
Yeah.
There's no downtime.
No. She's very good at keeping going. And like the meme reviews that she does every week, they're an hour long. They probably could go for longer if there was more material.
Man, I didn't know that she even did one a week. I thought it was like once a month or something.
Nah, it's weekly. Like I've even taken to just staying awake on those nights and going, fuck it, I made it till 2 a.m. I might as well make it till 4 a.m. and watch the thing.
I ain't gonna judge you. Like, Coco is one of those people who, even if I wanted to, I could watch her live stream, because she is, as far as I'm concerned, fucking magic when it comes to switching between Japanese and English.
Yeah, absolutely. She's incredibly fluid at switching from one to the other. She's very inclusive as well, so she'll do her best to make sure that both sets of fans know what's going on, especially in the meme review, because she knows she's got two sets of fans watching that.
And not to mention, like, usually the person she's with only speaks well, you know, they know some words in English, but they're Japanese through and through.
I think the closest one to her in that on the JP side was Hachama, and they even did a collab where it's "Do you get the joke, Hachama?" And you can tell it's a very obvious difference between someone who is a native speaker and can flick a switch in their mind immediately versus someone who is translating in their head, still doing incredibly well, but it's a very definite comparison between the two.
I get you, man. Like, just again to heap a bit of praise onto Coco, like, she says everything twice. I've never seen her not say anything twice, in, you know, once in one language, once in the other. I wouldn't be like, I can't speak two languages in the first fucking place, but even if I could, I imagine that's a very hard skill and mindset to have constantly on.
Yeah, absolutely. She's also learning Spanish now as well.
That's fucking like, two languages enough. Calm down. I have a huge amount of respect for anyone who can speak more than one language, because shit ain't easy. I work with like at work. There's a few people whose first language isn't English, and sometimes things are lost in translation. And I can't fucking stand it when people don't give people who like, you know, their first language isn't fucking English. You fucking know that, and they speak English fairly fucking well, considering, because English is a fucking hodgepodge of languages anyway. Let's be honest. And like, you can't give them an extra minute to work out what you're saying, or try and rephrase what you're saying, or talk, I don't know, fucking slower for half a second.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's, in inverted commas, your country, doesn't mean that other people don't have a right to try and communicate with you, because that's all they're trying to do.
It's one of those weird things where, like, if you bump into a random fucker on the street, you don't have to give a shit. But when you work with someone, give them a bit more than nothing, eh?
I know, right?
I don't know. Trying to stay away from heavy fucking topics. We've been recording for nearly an hour and 20 minutes, so it's probably a good place to wrap up, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely.
So, yeah, that was another entry into our Sonic watches, as it were. I've got no idea what the fuck we're doing next time we get to Sonic, but I'm sure Rick already has it on the docket.
Yeah, I've got, I think the next one will be Name Redacted.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
I'm engineering some suspense, and people that know the background probably can make an educated guess already, but still.
Or they could just Google Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons and see what's third in the list.
There is a movie, though, which I think we're saving till later.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about that, but we'll see what happens, eh? I won't say one way or the other, because it's one of those decisions that's probably going to be made on the fly. But yeah, all that's left to say is, if you've made it this far, guys, thank you for sticking with us for so long. You are our favourite type of person, and hopefully you'll join us next week where, well, it's a bit of an open secret because Marvel is dropping a new series, so we'll be watching that.
Yeah, they are. And they're dropping it on the most
Annoying?
symbolic of days.
Yeah, symbolic, not annoying.
Okay, it's both. It's annoying for you because you work, but it's symbolic because it's the day before Thor's Day.
Yes, it's going to be... I bet that had nothing to do with it. I think they just wanted to fuck with people.
Yeah, I mean, both are in character.
True. Rick, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.